Hello, my name is Shelley Marshall, and I'm the principal of Anderson Elementary School. And this is the Anderson IREAD-3 meeting presentation. I know some of you were able to attend our IREAD-3 night, which was an evening for second grade families and third grade families. For those of you that could not attend, I told you that I would be sending out a video, and so here it is. If you have any questions, though, after watching this video, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. So let's get started. For the purpose of this meeting, I'm going to take my picture off at this time so that you can focus on the slides. And let's go. Okay, so when is the iRead assessment? The spring iRead assessment window is held annually in March. There are two retest opportunities during May and summer school, though, so if needed for third through sixth graders. So this assessment is a required state assessment for our students in second grade and now third grade. So IREAD is broken into different segments. Section 1 of IREAD basically assesses students on foundational skills of phonics and vocabulary. This makes up 25 to 35% of assessment questions. Okay. And then sections 2 and 3 test students on reading and comprehension, fiction, and nonfiction text. That makes up 65 to 75% of the assessments. And we do want you to know that, this is what our teachers are working on. This is what they're preparing our students for. We work in whole group and we work in small groups to help them prepare for this test. Okay, and again, this test will be given in March for the first time for second grade students and third grade students. Third grade students need to be able to pass the test, and we at least hope that second grade students can be on track to pass the test. Okay, so who takes this test? Again, IREAD is required for all grade 3 students. Okay, and then beginning last year, so beginning in 2024, Madison second graders opted to take this test. So now second grade students are required to participate as well. Second grade students are not required to pass the test. However, if they do pass the test, they don't have to take it again as a third grader. So let me say that again. If they do pass in second grade, they don't have to take it again. What we hope for, though, is that at least they are considered in the category of on track. And that's what we look for second grade. If a third grader doesn't pass the test, remember they will also have two more opportunities in May and then summer to take this test again. All right. Why is IREAD-3 important? Based on Public Law 5 of the Indiana General Assembly, students who do not pass after the second fail may be retained in third grade and not promoted to fourth grade. And there are a few exceptions. Basically, parents, what this means is that if your student is not able to pass the IREAD-3 after lots of intervention and after 3 attempts, it tells us that they really don't have the basic reading skills necessary to move on to fourth grade. And that's really critically important because if students can't read in fourth grade and beyond, studies are showing that they really are going to struggle throughout the rest of their educational career. It gets very difficult if they're not on grade level reading. So that's why we make such a big deal about this. But we also provide lots and lots of support and intervention at this grade level. Okay. IREAD scores. Scores will be available to relevant users through a system called Cambian Assessment, which is a centralized reporting system for schools. We will send that information out to all of you so that you are aware of how to assess that and how to access, that information. Schools will be responsible for providing this to families. So once we get closer to that time, we will send out that information so you know exactly how to get online and assess those scores. Access, okay. And then other resources that we have available for you can be found on this IDOE website. I will also link this in our staff newsletter so that you have this as well. Lots of resources that teachers use, but also parents use. And then what is Anderson doing to prepare our students? Well, teachers and classrooms are working on key skills such as fluency passages, phonics instruction, comprehension practice, and intervention support. Okay, so it's really important each of those components are practiced on a daily basis, and this is what we are doing. I also want to introduce you to our instructional tiers. So if you look at this pyramid, every single student in our school receives instruction at the tier 1 level. That is our basic core curriculum and the basic standards we are teaching to every single student using our core curriculum. Some of those students are struggling though, even though that they receive that core instruction, they struggle and need additional intervention. So they might get that core instruction and they get small group maybe pulled to the back with their teacher or another reading teacher. Some students continue to still struggle and they need yet an additional support beyond that small group. And so you might hear that as referred to as tier 3. So I wanted to share this with you because this is the model that we use at our school to make sure that we're providing every student with the instructional pieces that they need. How can you help at home? It is really important, parents, that your students read at least 20 minutes daily. It's important that you practice reading fiction and nonfiction texts with them. You can read to them, have them read to you. You can do partner reading, shared reading. It's very important that they are reading every day and reading through a book, not necessarily online. That's a different type of reading. They need to be reading a book. Have your students summarize the text, find main idea, characters, the problem, and solution. So start asking them questions while they're reading. Um, Create predictions throughout the text and after reading. And if you have questions about this, please reach out to your child's teacher or reach out to one of us. We're happy to help explain this more, but these are really important pieces that you need to be doing with your child. Even though we're spending a lot of time at school working on this, it just takes reading's hard. It's very, very difficult and it does not come naturally. And in fact, 1 in 4 students will struggle pretty significantly with learning to read. So the more they're practicing this all at different times at school, at home, the more they're going to enjoy it, for one. But number two, the more that it's going to be easier for them. Okay, so 2026 IREAD testing window, here it is for you. It's March 2nd through the 13th. And then we'll retest May 11th. I'm sorry, we'll retest. That's the retest dates is between May 11th and June 26th. Usually what we do at Anderson is we'll provide a test before they leave for summer. Then we'll have a 2-week summer school opportunity for those students that did not pass, and they will retake the test at the end of summer school. So just wanted to share that with you. Questions. For any questions that you may have, please contact our school. The phone number is 812-273-8528. You can also reach out to your child's teacher or you can email me at smarshall@madison.k12.in.us. We are here. We are happy to help you in any way that you wish. I know that it gets overwhelming sometimes, I'm sure, as a parent with all of the stuff the school has going on. So just wanted to share that with you. I appreciate you guys taking time to listen to this. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.